we have a wonderful opportunity today to hear from a wonderful group of guys, Steep Canyon Rangers. One of the things I like most about they'll be doing something a little different from them in that they'll be talking about the history of bluegrass and playing some examples of that. And one of the things I've always liked and admired about these guys is their appreciation of the history of their craft and the way that they really do pay homage in practically everything they do to those to the traditions of bluegrass. And this is also the answer to a question of, what can I do with a major in humanities? Is that right? So I'll shut up and let them go. Well, I'll let Mike Gugino introduce the band. Mike is a UNCA graduate and was a history major, and very gracious. I emailed him. Yeah, the one that took him longest to find his way here. But I'll leave it to them, the Steep Canyon Rangers. Thank you.
All right, appreciate it.
2, 3, 4.
If I could make a living loving pretty women, I'd fill all the banks up, I could make a killing. I'd buy everybody all the things they would need. If I could make a living loving pretty women, I ain't no good at driving men, no traveling door to door. I do what I got to do just like the day before. And I can't complain about scraping by while others got it bad. I got pennies in my pocket, big dreams in my head. If I could make a living loving pretty women, I'd fill all the banks up, I could make a killing. I'd buy everybody all the things they would need. If I could make a living loving pretty women. There's Cindy and Lisa too. There's Jessica and Kate. But I've been working 7 days a week just wishing there was 8. Well, I may not be a movie star, but I'll take my time. I'll always be rambling, man, with rambling on my mind. If I could make a living loving pretty women, I'd fill all the banks up, I could make a killing. I'd buy everybody all the things they would need. If I could make a living loving pretty women. Well, I need a brand new spirit, I need a brand new song, and I'll know it when I hear it, and I'll sing it all day long and everywhere. I just have one request: let me live to love and love to live, and lay me down to rest. If I could make a living loving pretty women, I'd fill all the banks up, and I could make a killing. I'd buy everybody all the things they would need. If I could make a living loving pretty women.
So
Our
we're
fiddle's still in bed.
yeah, fiddle player didn't get the email, I guess, about coming today, so we'll just skip all the extended fiddle parts the best we can. I guess I'll just introduce everybody first. I'm Mike Gugino. I went to school here and I've done a couple of these history of Appalachia bluegrass classes, so it's good to be back doing another one. Over here on the bass is Charles Humphrey. On the banjos, Graham Sharp. And on the guitars, Woody Platt. And all of us come from North Carolina, different places in North Carolina. Some of us from the eastern part of the state, and Woody and I grew up in this part of the state near Brevard. And the band got started about 5 or 6 years ago. These guys were all going to Chapel Hill, and I knew Woody, and we got a bluegrass band together, and been doing it professionally now for the past 3 or 4 years. So, what have you guys been studying bluegrass or old-time Appalachian music, or?
Just getting into that in class, talking about the culture of in the 20th century and how it changes and stuff.
Okay, well, as far as the history of bluegrass, you know, it sort of comes out of the old-time mountain music tradition, which you've probably heard if you've been around here for any length of time, because you can hear it just about anywhere. And that's usually like fiddle and clawhammer banjo music, usually guitar or bass, and that's what people call old-time music or old-time mountain music. And bluegrass definitely gets its roots from that music, but it also brings in some other musical elements and has a little bit of different history. In 1946, I guess, is when you could officially say bluegrass was born, when a guy named Bill Monroe, who played the mandolin, he was from Rosine, Kentucky. He grew up with a bunch of brothers and sisters, and they all played musical instruments, guitars and fiddles and banjos, and he was kind of the youngest, and he was kind of stuck with the mandolin, and nobody really played the mandolin. Actually, it was kind of said that the girls played the mandolin back then,
Yeah.
and you know, unlike today, where mandolin's very manly. Mandolin, you know, it's a very manly instrument. But he got stuck with the mandolin, and he was a really proud guy, a very sort of proud and confident, and maybe even cocky at times. And he said, "I'm going to make this mandolin something special, and not just what the girls play." And so, you know, he learned the old-time mountain music from his Uncle Penn, who played the fiddle and was playing at the local barn dances and stuff. And he learned a lot of those fiddle tunes on the mandolin. And he also, at the time, was hanging out with a guy named Arthur Smith, and he was a black blues guitar player. And he was playing some of the dances with him, and you know, the blues was never a part of the Appalachian music. Appalachian music and mountain music had come over from the Scotch-Irish immigrants to Appalachia, and you know, it was very European sounding, and it didn't have any elements of the blues. And you know, Bill Monroe's hearing this guitar player play these bluesy type singing melodies and playing the guitar like he never heard anybody. And so that had a big influence on him too, and he kind of just combined the two styles of music, the blues and the old-time mountain music, and created what we now call bluegrass. And the reason it's called bluegrass is not really anything to do with the blues, although there's blues in bluegrass, but it more comes from, he put a band together, and he was from Kentucky, and they were called the Bluegrass Boys, and because of the bluegrass state of Kentucky. And the radio announcers didn't know what to call the music, this new kind of music, so they were calling it Bluegrass Boys music, and then just kind of got shortened to bluegrass music. And and you've probably heard of Earl Scruggs and Lester Flatt. They joined his band in 1946, and that's kind of when the music really started to take the shape of kind of how we know bluegrass to sound today. And one of the elements that they brought to that was the banjo wasn't being frailed anymore. Graham, you might talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of it happened right around here. Like Earl was from Cleveland County, and then Snuffy Jenkins, sorry. Snuffy Smith actually is not only a moonshiner in comic books, but he's a well-known banjo maker. So, let's see. Snuffy Jenkins was living right across the line in South Carolina, and there's kind of a trade-off between, you know, what some people say that history's kind of confused in there, but it was basically, I guess, around the 30s that, you know, Snuffy had been doing this kind of two-finger and even three-finger banjo rolling, but it was kind of primitive. And Earl says one day he was sitting in his room and it just kind of sprang out, this three-finger banjo style, with kind of three fingers rolling across the chords, and he started running around the house screaming, "I've got it, I've got it," and he had it.
So maybe we could play something like,
You can do it. You know, Love Is Like a Flower or something like that.
like, no, I was thinking like, what's the one, Foggy Mountain Special or something like that. It shows
Sure.
like some of the blues,
Yeah, definitely.
you know, something like that.
Why don't you do the Bluegrass Twist?
Okay. To show you an example of sort of how the blues element sort of came into the picture, and this three-finger sort of banjo roll instead of like the. Can you do any kind of Fralin kind of?
Yeah, Charles can do it a lot better than I can.
Now that's more of like the old time, you know, mountain style banjo playing. So now Earl Scruggs comes along, and he's got the finger picks on,
Yep.
and he's doing these rolls now. We'll do a song that kind of showcases like some of the more the blues elements and improvisation too. You know, that was something that hadn't been done before in the old time tradition. You know, people just played the tunes the way that, you know, their father played the tunes, and his father and their grandfather, and they're just kind of passed down orally for you know, decades. And you know, the tunes changed, and you know, Bill Monroe brought in the blues, and he wrote a song called Bluegrass Twist. It sounds like this. get a lot of the blues. Some people have even gone as far to say is that, you know, Bill Monroe influenced people like Chuck Berry with a rock and roll guitar, that kind of, like that kind of sound, you know. And I don't know if that's true or not, but, you know, it seems like musicians.
His
Influence
Blue
on
Moon in
musicians.
Kentucky was the B-side of
Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley's first records.
So you had Bill Monroe, and he brought in Flatt and Scruggs, and that was kind of the first bluegrass band. And you know, eventually Flatt and Scruggs kind of broke off from Bill, and decided to do their own thing, and became, you know, arguably one of the best bluegrass bands, you know, ever. And wrote their own songs that sounded like bluegrass, and sort of bluegrass became this genre of music now. It wasn't just what Bill Monroe's doing. And yet other people coming along like the Stanley Brothers and Jim and Jesse McReynolds and Jimmy Martin, and people that started to play music, write music and play music that sounded like what Bill had done with Flatt and Scruggs in the 40s. And you know, people are still doing that now. You know, we're still doing that. I guess we play mostly original music, and you know, Charles and Graham are both really good songwriters, and they write songs that a lot of times sound a lot like the old, you know, what we now call standards. It's, you know, it's amazing how it doesn't take that much time for a song to be considered a traditional or standard. You know, like, you know, people in bluegrass circles will call, you know, what Bill Monroe and Flatt and Scruggs did a traditional song. You know, that's a traditional bluegrass song. Well, you know, bluegrass has only been around for, you know, 60 years now, I guess, this year, 2006. So, you want to play another one?
Sure, you do Rolling On?
Yeah.
We'll go in G. Here's an example of an original song that written in the bluegrass vein. It's called I'm Rolling On.
I'm leaving rubber on the highway and I'm steering straight ahead. And I'm buzzing on the white lines, thinking about what she said. Well, I'm feeling oh so lonesome, I'll never settle down. And I've got my truck in high gear and I'm heading out of town. I'm rolling on, I'm rolling on. Honey, I'm rolling on. Well, this highway's filled with sorrow and it leads away from you. The only sound that I hear is a diesel engine too. Well, you won't find me tomorrow on this highway, I'll be gone. We've had ourselves a good time, so honey, I'm rolling on. I'm rolling on, I'm rolling on. Honey, I'm rolling on. I'm rolling on, I'm rolling on. Honey, I'm rolling on. I'm rolling on, I'm rolling on. Honey, I'm rolling on.
Available at all fine record stores.
Not yet, that one.
So another thing that was different about bluegrass the singing is probably the most important part of the music, or one of the most important parts anyway, is the singing. And it's the way you sing too. In kind of the old time mountain music tradition, you usually just had one singer, and it wasn't so set up like a verse chorus as much. A lot of times it was just you do an instrumental part, and then you maybe sing what would be like a chorus, and you might have a harmony part or two on that. But with bluegrass, it's a little bit more regimented. It's a little bit more like how pop songs or rock and roll songs are, where you have an instrumental intro, and then you sing like a verse, and then a chorus where everybody sings the harmony together, a different verse, and everybody sings the chorus again.
It also trades off the instrumental parts.
Yeah, that's another thing too. In the old time tradition, usually the fiddle and the banjo, because there really wasn't too many mandolins back, with the old time music, would just play the sort of the melody break, and it wouldn't be like a solo. It would be kind of just the melody of the tune the same way over and over again. And in bluegrass, you kind of trade off, as you can see. Graham would take a banjo break, and then I'd take a mandolin break, and Woody and Charles in the other song we did a minute ago both took instrumental breaks. So that's another thing, trading off the solo, so you kind of feature the instrumental picking, and then everybody tries to kind of feature their instrument and what they can do and play, some fast notes or some cool sounding licks or something like that. And that's a little bit different from the old time tradition, where it was just kind of the same melody over and over, for the most part.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Gospel music also was a big part of the old time tradition, but it continued to be a big part and continues to be a big part of the bluegrass tradition too, where you have maybe a quartet like we're going to do, where you got someone singing a low bass part, someone singing a little bit above him, and then a lead voice, and then a voice higher than that. And Flat Scruggs did a lot of that, and we'll do one of those songs that they play.
Not my father, not my mother, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer.
Not my father, not my mother, but it's me, oh Lord.
Standing in the need of prayer. It's me,
It's me, oh Lord.
standing in the need of prayer. It's me,
It's me, oh Lord.
standing in the need of prayer. Not my brother, not my sister, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer.
Not my brother, not my sister, but it's me, oh Lord.
Standing in the need of prayer. It's me,
It's me, oh Lord.
standing in the need of prayer. It's me,
It's me, oh Lord.
standing in the need of prayer. Now I'm a preacher, now I'm a teacher, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer.
Not my teacher, not my preacher, but it's me, oh Lord.
Standing in the need of prayer. It's me,
It's me, oh Lord.
standing in the need of prayer. It's me,
It's me, oh Lord.
standing in the need of prayer. It's me,
It's me, oh Lord.
standing in the need of prayer. It's me,
It's me, oh Lord. I'm
standing in the need of prayer.
This is obligation for bluegrass bands to play gospel songs.
It is.
When a lot of bluegrass bands are not exactly paragons of Christian virtue.
What do you say? because it's tradition, you know, it's interesting. Not only is it like tradition, and I mean, you think about it's not surprising that gospel music would be a big part of bluegrass because
It's
of
part of
where
all country music, really.
yeah, it's part of all bluegrass and country music, really. And I didn't say that before because this isn't really a country music history thing, but they really have the same history. It all comes from old time mountain music, and country music kind of went this way, and bluegrass went this way. But it's not surprising that bluegrass is a part of, I mean, gospel is a part of bluegrass because, I mean, they were living in the southern United States, and religion is such a part of their culture and what they did. And you know, Bill Monroe was Methodist, and you know, so he grew up singing those songs in his house and in church on Sundays. But the interesting thing is, like Dr. Pierce is saying, is now still, even if people aren't necessarily religious or, you know, going to church on Sundays every week or everything, but they still do a gospel song. Even on their album, they'll record a gospel song, and we've recorded a gospel song. And it's not just because of the tradition, but it's because it's like it's a type of song now. You know, the gospel song has become the fact that it's a quartet where you have 4 voices singing in harmony. And you can do one where it's a cappella, where you don't have any instruments and you just have the voices. It's just become sort of, you know, like there's waltzes, there's instrumental tunes, there's fast songs, slow songs, there's gospel songs, and it's a type of song now. And so that's another reason why you always see bluegrass bands do it, because it's sort of a way to showcase your singing. I'm trying to think of some of the other questions you had on the email.
Well, about about the origin of the instruments and things like
Okay.
that, because people think of this as traditional, but then you look at the mandolin for one. I know we've talked about that in the past.
That's true. Well, out of all these instruments, and I wish our fiddle player was here. Unfortunately, he isn't. But that's the oldest instrument, the one that's most traditional. I mean, that was obviously played in Europe and for hundreds of years, and then was brought over to the United States with the settlers, and was used to create old-time mountain music. And people would write songs that sounded like the old Celtic music is basically what it is. So that would be the oldest one, and then probably the guitar.
Yeah, guitars.
You know, would be the second one, and most people are familiar with the guitar. And
Yeah, it came out of the lute.
yeah,
The lute, the Meyer guitar.
Maybe guitar to be so common or so easily recognized, the history of it's pretty confusing. It's like French and Italian. You're not really sure where it
Spanish.
came from.
I think all of these are European except for the banjo.
yeah.
The banjo is another really old instrument. It's an African instrument. It's comes from. I mean, you know, it comes from. I don't know what exactly it comes from, but if you ever see like a
Like a gourd.
yeah, you know, you see like old gourd banjos and stuff like that, and you see things like the kora, you know, is kind of looks like a banjo, or if you see any of these African instruments, they all have sort of the same. What gives it away is kind of the round body, you know, and it comes from, I think, having a gourd or something like that. But you know, so the banjo is an African instrument and came to America from Africa.
And that's
What
so.
about where you're talking about the adaptation, I guess it's 20th century.
Right.
Of the banjo. You talk about.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty hot rodded instrument compared to the rest of them. It's got
Frankenstein.
got a lot of metal on it,
Show the back of that thing.
and it's. I guess the big innovation in the 20th century was this back part, which is a resonator. Most banjos just had what they call an open back to them, and this has, as you can see, a resonator. And they didn't start off this fancy, but I just got lucky enough to get one like that. And but this comes off, and this is kind of a mark of a bluegrass banjo, is a resonator on the back. If you see an old time banjo, it won't have it.
This is the resonator, this thick.
Right. It's this thick piece of wood.
And that makes
Right
it a lot louder, and it sort of gives it that
Yeah.
that timbre, that tone that you're used to hearing.
It does. Like the older ones are a little more thuddy. This one has an extra piece of fabricated steel, or I don't know what it's made of, copper hoop, kind of like a bell almost on the inside. They call it tone ring, which is a big chunk of metal basically that an old time banjo doesn't have. And yeah, I mean these things are.
out of vaudeville or?
You know, I don't know. This banjo is a 1934, and in the time of 1934, most of the banjos they were making are 4-string banjos. They're mostly used for like Dixieland, like if you ever see like Preservation Hall, Dixieland Band, or any of those old kind of New Orleans swing type bands, they'll have a 4-string banjo. And that was the most common banjo up until, let's say, the 50s. And then they started manufacturing. So I assume that those, but they were, the 4 strings were being made with all these metal parts. So I assume that they were being made to be able to compete with a brass band. They took the idea of a banjo and just, you know, really beefed it up so it could compete with a full brass band. And then
Now none of our instruments can compete with the volume of a banjo.
there you go.
So the bass, you know, is obviously in the violin family. It's just a larger version of that. It's been around for many years, and I can't think of too much
It's big.
to say about the bass.
It kind of takes the place of having a drummer too. That along with the mandolin are kind of setting the rhythm, whereas a
Yes.
drummer would be doing that in other types of music. It's kind of the foundation, and you build up from that.
Yeah, that's one thing. I guess I didn't want to get too much into talking about music, sort of stuff like that. But that's another big part of bluegrass is like just the beat. You know, there are certain types of music where like the beat defines like the music, like reggae, kind of that off, you know, kind of thing. And it's the same with bluegrass. That's just a good example of something that really defines the music, and the beat of bluegrass, it really defines it. And you know, all bluegrass songs have that same, you know, sort of beat, where it's like the bass hitting the downbeat and the mandolin hitting the offbeat, or what they call the chop, that, you know, it's like percussive. Instead of having a drummer doing boom, boom, you know, like that, you know, we don't have to have a drummer. So the mandolin and the bass are sort of the percussion, you know, instead of the mandolin, because you could chord the mandolin, the guitar, but you don't. You kind of mute it, dampen it. And again, that's something that Bill Monroe came up with, and I don't know where he came up with that idea, or what made him come up with that idea, but it certainly is a huge part of the way bluegrass sounds, the mandolin chop.
You want to pick one? Here's one that's kind of this is a history lesson in itself for bluegrass music. Kind of in the honky tonk. So this is sort of an example of crossing over with country. This is sort of a honky tonk type bluegrass history lesson.
I've got the bluegrass blues. I don't know what to do. Traveling down the road so long, wearing out my shoes. Making music every night, now I'm missing you. I've got the bluegrass blues. Well, Bill's from old Kentucky, bluegrass state you see. And Earl's from Carolina, that's where I'm gonna be. Rip Stanley's from Virginia, got that old mountain sound, and the blues are all around. I've got them bluegrass blues, I don't know what to do. Traveling down the road so long, wearing out my shoes. Making music every night, now I'm missing you. I've got the bluegrass blues.
Does anybody have any questions?
What's the technique behind moving around? You know, like usually you have one mic and you guys are all sharing.
Right. Yeah, that kind of comes from, that's kind of how the original bluegrass was done. I guess it comes from like the radio. I would, my best guess is that it comes from playing on the radio. Back in the day, it seemed like the way the bands toured was they would go from radio station to radio station, and they'd go to station and stay there for 4 weeks, 2 months, and they would stay in an area, play the radio station, and kind of promote their gigs in that area, and move around. So, I don't know, one guy asked us why we did it around one microphone like that, if we couldn't afford any more microphones, but it really is a traditional way to do it. And
We just think too, it looks better from the audience's standpoint. I mean, I know when I go see bluegrass bands, I like to see them moving around. It gets kind of old, even if they're really good sometimes when they're just standing in a straight line, like a lot of them do with an instrument mic and a vocal mic, and you're just kind of standing there playing your instrument. It's kind of neat to see bands like almost hitting each other with their instrument heads.
oh yeah, it's a fiddle buzz
Yeah.
in my ear.
Yeah, the fiddle bow, that thing will, you gotta watch out.
Where are you at?
The purpose of doing it today, though, is so I can hear Mike when I go over there.
Yeah.
You can't hear him.
We're used to singing like really close, like on the microphone, because we don't, we're not sitting, like I said, with our own microphones with like monitors kicking back at us, so we usually get close.
Why do you guys think it's important to do it in kind of a traditional way? I mean, whereas other people,
The music or the
like
microphones?
The music or the microphones?
Well, all of it.
Yeah, right.
I think, but the music and the way you present yourselves, which is kind of traditional.
Yeah, we usually wear suits when we play. That's sort of a traditional thing. It seems like, and the idea behind that was that Bill Monroe didn't want people to think they were just a bunch of hillbillies from Kentucky with no class. He wanted them to think that it was a first-class operation, so they always had suits on and hats and, were looking sharp.
Did he start out in the riding breeches with the big knee boots?
He did, actually.
What was it, baseball?
No, they played baseball on the side, but that's something totally different. But I think as far as why we like to do stuff like that is because that's what we like to listen to. That's the kind of bluegrass we like a lot, and the things that we like about bluegrass, are a lot of the things that the old traditional bands were doing, and I don't know, it's just it's kind of what we like.
It's such a rich history, bluegrass music is like, we kind of like to do our own thing, like we write most of our songs and whatnot, but there's such a rich history of bluegrass. If you can kind of connect it to, it gives you it gives our music, we think, a good footing, in that past. And that's, like Mike said, that's just what we love. So.
It's really tangible, too. I mean, we've gotten to meet most of the people that we idolize, the ones that are all still alive.
Yes, it's really.
Yeah, what happened to your
First
first
generation.
signed banjo?
I've still sold the banjo, but I still
He's
got the head.
That's a really neat thing about bluegrass, is that like what he said, it's very tangible, and the biggest names in bluegrass. I mean, you can go to a bluegrass festival and see them, and after
They're pretty small.
Yeah, they're pretty small. Jumbo shrimp, we like to call it, but you can just go up to them after they're done with their set, and they'll be sitting at their CD table shaking hands and signing CDs. And I mean, you can't do that with Britney Spears or any kind of pop music, even rock and roll and stuff. So
We all were talking about your name. How did you come up with the name?
It's a traditional name.
It's actually out of my little beer.
the Steep Canyon part, not the Rangers.
Not the Rangers.
Traditional. That's the traditional.
You got to remember, this band started, when we started this band, we were definitely not traditionally,
We were learning.
we all kind of got into bluegrass, and we'd all played music before growing up, but not bluegrass. We got into college and started listening to it, because bluegrass has really made this comeback in the last 10 years. And you see a lot of the evidence by a lot of the country singers like Ricky Skaggs and Alison Krauss and Patty Loveless that are now doing bluegrass records. And it's really interesting because they've you know. They've always played bluegrass, but they never did it, you know, but now all of a sudden everybody's playing bluegrass. And so we kind of came into it right when that was happening, and we, you know, started listening to bluegrass, and we definitely came at it from a non-traditional standpoint, and then as we listened to it and got into the music, kind of worked our way back into Bill Monroe and Flatt and Scruggs and the first generation bluegrass stuff.
And, you know, as bluegrass has gotten more popular, it's brought a lot more musicians in, you know, have become interested in it that would have, you know, maybe been playing some other kind of music. So, I mean, that's kind of how the music sort of grows outside of bluegrass, you know. It's just drawing new musicians and more eclectic stuff into it all the time. So, you know, you listen to your radio and you can hear bluegrass, and, well, depending on what station you listen to, you can hear it in, you know, a lot of the country music and what they call alt country and stuff like that.
There's as much of it in Nashville. We travel everywhere. There's as much of it here as any place that we travel. Yeah.
And,
Pardon me.
oh, yeah, go ahead.
Doc Watson on the, where does he play in this?
That's a good question.
He plays guitar in a bluegrass style, I would say, but he doesn't.
But nobody played it like that before.
Right.
He came about in the folk.
He was
There
old
was a
time,
big folk
yeah.
movement.
Sure.
Before that.
Yeah, he's a blend of the old time tradition, the folk movement, and bluegrass.
He doesn't really carry a
Folk revival.
traditional bluegrass
Sure,
outfit.
active in that.
Yeah.
But he's definitely bluegrass.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, when he went to New York and played on the radio shows, it just like blew everybody's mind. They were playing old time fiddle music more or less, except without the banjo. Really, it was like Clarence Ashley is playing the fiddle, and Doc Watson, he was playing these fiddle tunes on the guitar, and I mean, it was like nothing anybody had ever heard, you know. And he was definitely a huge innovator.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the guitar before then, especially in old time music, was just the, you know, it was the rhythm, and you see that in a lot of kinds of music. And Doc Watson comes along. He probably wasn't the first one to do it, but he was the first one to really be really good at it and bring it to like the popular audience. And you know, and that flat, what they call flat picking, where you play the melody just like a mandolin or banjo or fiddle does, and that's, you know, really hard to do. But now, you know, as time's gone by, it seems like most guitar players now, not all of them, but most of them, you know, do some flat picking.
You got a flat picker?
Sure.
You got a flat picker?
Yeah.
Just a quick plug, Doc Watson's playing with us at a festival in Florida this summer, or this fall, we're in charge of promoting, so it's called Mountain Song Festival.
September.
September 16th at the Music Center.
Brevard Music Center.
Pre-sales. Where are the pre-sales at?
Oh, man, you can find it on.
It's gonna.
We're in charge of it. I'm in charge of it. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna
Don't
sell
miss it.
out too. So we gotta get you
It's all
tickets.
pretty exciting.
Sure. That's what Doc Watson.
There's the Doc Watson.
Yeah, lots of bands, Bill Monroe, Flat and Scruggs. Seems like all the bands were doing tours in Japan in the 60s and 70s. And there still are, it's still big over in Europe. There's a European Bluegrass Associations. And now you're seeing more and more European bluegrass bands coming over to the United States and being at the bluegrass festivals too. So I think people in Europe, and I've never been there myself to see it firsthand, but I think, from what I can tell, people in other countries, especially in Europe, just have an affinity for American folk music. They really like it, and that's probably a place that we haven't been yet, but we'll probably go within the next year or two is to play in Europe. And maybe Japan. We love sushi. It'd be great.
Right, a bluegrass sushi song.
Bill Monroe. Yeah, Bill Monroe.
So with this globalization of bluegrass, it called to mind the movie Brother, Where Art Thou? And sort of the debate at that time, is it a sellout to go Hollywood, or is that actually good for the genre? What do you all think about globalization? I mean, are people from Japan wearing the suits, and are they, buying into all of the things that really tied bluegrass to the South in the same way? And will bluegrass still be bluegrass if it isn't Southern?
Well, bluegrass was commercial from the very start. I mean, like Mike said, it was tied to country music, and I mean, when Bill Monroe played on the Grand Ole Opry, that's when bluegrass music really started.
Yeah.
And that's the Grand Ole Opry was, Flat and Scruggs were sponsored by Martha White, and I mean, it's Pat Milk. There you go. So, I think it's a good thing.
I think for the most part it's a good thing. I mean, it's created a larger audience for for not only for your shows but for CD sales and stuff like that. More people are becoming aware of it. I can remember going to Merlefest about 5 years ago, the year before Our Brother happened, and it was big. It was a big festival. It was probably the biggest one in the country. And then I went the next year after Our Brother, Where Art Thou? And I felt like I was at a Rolling Stones concert in RFK Stadium. It was ridiculous. I had to use binoculars to watch the screen that has. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I'm not exaggerating. No, I mean, it was packed. There was almost twice as many people there.
And this year, Mike will not have trouble seeing World Fest.
No, that's right.
We're getting to play at Merlefest this year. So, and I said too at that point, I don't think I'm going to go back because it's so big that I don't want to go back unless we play. So we are. So it'll be nice to go back to Merlefest. But as far as they are, and people in other countries are buying into the not only the bluegrass but the culture that comes with it. It seems like, I mean, it's really funny sometimes seeing, like,
Especially Japan.
Yeah, Japanese and or Scandinavian bluegrass artists singing about the old home place with trying to mimic a Southern accent. And they do. They don't sing it they sing it in English.
They learn English from Lester Flatt.
Yeah. And bluegrass is notorious for bad grammar. I mean, it's more about what rhymes, and so sometimes you have double negatives and all that kind of stuff. But they buy into it, and they wear the suits, and they try to be as much like the real thing as possible, for sure.
So they sing songs about Jesus too?
They do. They do. And I don't know if they were raised, Buddhist or Hindu or whatever religion. I mean,
It's just part of the music.
it's just part. Like I said, it's become it's become like a type of song, not necessarily a gospel song in the way you sing gospel songs in the church as a sort of form of like worship and praise. It's more of a way to show. It's more about the vocal singing and the style of the song rather than the message sometimes. But it doesn't have to be. Some people are bluegrass gospel and they're doing it for the music, and they really obviously it means a lot to them, and they're very faithful religious people. So you get both, and sometimes it's hard to tell which bands are and which bands aren't.
They're both.
Well, if he stopped loving her today, in my humble opinion, it's the greatest country music song ever written. What's the greatest bluegrass song ever written? Play it for us.
Play it for me.
Including one that you may have written.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I like that.
Play that one. We'll play that one. I don't know if it's the greatest one ever written.
I think Uncle Ken, bluegrass song ever written is. A lot of people like Rocky Top.
We don't. We'll play that whiskey song.
This is one Graham wrote.
Don't leave me hanging on the end here.
It's goodbye to that gal of mine, wherever she may be. It's goodbye, bottle of whiskey, have been the death of me. Well, the jukebox, it just won't stop playing in my head. Ain't nothing does a drunk like a record song. Hangman's poker just won't keep a decent family fed, and I guess that's why I'll always be alone. It's goodbye to that gal of mine, wherever she may be. It's goodbye, bottle of whiskey, you have been the death of me. Well, I still remember better days, but the recollection fades, and it rolls on in a stream of alcohol. Well, she dealt me the queen of hearts, and I played the ace of spades, and since then I ain't had no luck at all. It's goodbye to that gal of mine, wherever she may be. It's goodbye, bottle of whiskey, have been the death of me. Remember nights I wish I died, cursed to see the day. Seen the bottle of almost every dirty town. But since she's up and left me, there's no need to change my ways, and I guess I won't tell they lay me in the ground. It's goodbye to that gal of mine, wherever she may be. It's goodbye, bottle of whiskey, have been dead to me.
Thank y'all so much for coming out, and thanks again to Steve Canyon Rangers. If you're in Boulder, Colorado on Thursday,
Skippy class.
they'll be there. But Merle Fest coming up, and any other local.
Mountain Song Music Festival, September 16th.
September, put that on your calendar. Don't miss it. And thank what? Bell Share.
Probably, we'll probably play somewhere in Nashville.
Yeah.
Maybe in May.
All right, so yeah, steepcanyon.com to order your CDs.
That's right.
And
some with you, too.
what?
I brought a couple with me.
Oh, and Mike brought some if you
I
want
thought
it.
you might want
What?
one.
Charge you double.
Mike has a few, and they're great. I've got them all except the most recent one, so I'm looking forward to getting that one. So, thanks again
Thanks,
for
y'all.
coming out.
Thank you.
If I could make a living loving pretty women, I'd fill all the banks up. I could make a killing. I'd buy